Hello, and welcome to Exploring Symmetry, Part 3 Rotational Symmetry. Last time we explored lines of symmetry and learned a line of symmetry divides a figure into two parts, each of which is a mirror image of the other, which means if one side of a given figure is flipped over a line of symmetry, it will line up exactly with the other side. This is known as reflective symmetry. Today we're going to be exploring a different kind of symmetry known as rotational symmetry. So, what is rotational symmetry? Rotational symmetry is a state in which a shape matches its original form when rotated or turned, like these cool triangles here. Let's look at some examples of rotational symmetry, like these two shapes. You could tell the plus sign has rotational symmetry because if I were to rotate it, it would look exactly the same. The same goes for this diamond. If I were to rotate it, it would look exactly the same. Both of these shapes have rotational symmetry. Here are some examples of shapes with no rotational symmetry. You could tell this arrow has no rotational symmetry because if I were to flip it on its side, it does not look the same as it did when it started. The same goes for this triangle. When turned on its side, it does not look the same as when it started, so we can safely say that both of these shapes have no rotational symmetry. Now, are you ready to be put to the test? Do you think this shape has rotational symmetry? It does not, because if I rotate it on its side, it does not look the same as it did when it started. How about this shape? Does it have rotational symmetry? It does. When I flipped it on its side, it looks exactly the same as when it started, so it clearly has rotational symmetry. What do you think of this smiley face? Does it have rotational symmetry? Not at all. When I rotate it on its side, the face changes orientation entirely. No rotational symmetry here. How about this shape? Does it have rotational symmetry? Absolutely. It looks the same exactly as when it started. It has rotational symmetry. How about this sun? Does it have rotational symmetry? Absolutely. Okay, last one. Does this shape have rotational symmetry? No rotational symmetry here. Look at how different the two arrows look. Learning about symmetry is a great way to improve your art. Take a look at this art piece I made using both reflective and rotational symmetry. How many lines of symmetry can you see in this image? Comment down below and let me know. Thanks for watching and exploring rotational symmetry with me.